Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the 1969 Washington quarter. This coin is from the United States, and it has a lot of stories behind it. Some people online say that a 1969 Washington quarter can be worth a lot of money, even up to $13,000. That sounds amazing for a 25-cent coin, right? But is that true? In this video, we are going to look closely at what this coin is, what makes it special, what can make it valuable, and how you can really tell if your 1969 quarter is worth more than face value. We are going to keep everything simple and easy to understand so that everyone can follow along, even if you are new to coin collecting. The 1969 Washington quarter is part of a series that started in 1932. That was the year when the U.S. Mint began producing quarters with the image of George Washington on the front, or what collectors call the obverse side. George Washington was chosen to celebrate the 200th anniversary of his birth. On the front of the coin, you can see his head facing left. The word Liberty is written above him, and below his chin, you'll see the phrase, "In God We Trust." The date, 1969, appears at the bottom of the coin. On the back of the coin, also known as the reverse side, there is an image of an eagle with its wings spread out and arrows and olive branches below it. Around the top edge, it says, United States of America, and at the bottom, it says, quarter dollar. This design was used on quarters from 1932 all the way until 1998, so the 1969 coin looks very similar to other quarters from that long stretch of years. Now, the 1969 quarter was made for regular use in everyday life. That means its face value is 25 cents, just like any other quarter. You can still use it to buy something or put it into a vending machine, but collectors like to look at older coins to see if they are rare or special. Some coins have unique errors or are in perfect condition, and those details can make them valuable. So when someone says that a 1969 quarter is worth $13,000, it's not because all of them are worth that much, it's because a very small number of coins might have something rare or unusual about them. Let's start with how many of these coins were made. In 1969, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters. There were coins made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones made in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, which is a small letter that tells you where the coin was made. The ones made in Denver have a D mint mark, and the ones from San Francisco have an S. The San Francisco coins from that year were not meant for normal use in circulation, they were made for collectors in what's called proof condition. In total, the Philadelphia Mint made about 176 million quarters, Denver made about 114 million, and San Francisco produced around 2.9 million proof coins. So that's a lot of quarters. Because so many were made, most 1969 quarters are not rare at all. They were mass-produced and used every day, which means most of them are only worth 25 cents. Now let's talk about what the coin is made of. Before 1965, quarters in the United States were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But starting in 1965, the mint switched to a different metal combination because silver had become too expensive to use in everyday coins. The new quarters were made from what is called clad metal. That means there is a core made of copper and outer layers made of a nickel-copper mixture. The 1969 quarter follows that same formula. It has no silver in it, and its metal value is actually less than its face value. So if you have a 1969 quarter, it is not a silver coin, even though it might look shiny. That's important to know because sometimes people think all older quarters are silver, but the 1969 one is not. When we talk about what makes a coin valuable, one of the most important things to look at is its condition. If the coin has been used for years, passed around, scratched, or worn down, it is called a circulated coin. Circulated coins are the ones you usually find in your pocket change. Those coins are usually only worth their face value, maybe a few cents more if someone wants it for a collection. If a coin looks clean, shiny, and still has sharp details, it is called uncirculated. Uncirculated coins have not been used in everyday transactions, and collectors value them more because they look closer to how they were when they were first made. For the 1969 quarter, a circulated coin is worth about 25 cents. An uncirculated one might be worth $5 to $10 if it's in good shape, and maybe a little more if it's really nice. But sometimes a 1969 quarter can be worth much more than that. The high prices, like $1,000, $5,000, or even $13,000, come from special cases. One of those cases is when the coin has an error. A mint error happens when something goes wrong during the coin's production at the mint. Errors can be small or big, and the bigger or more visible the error, the more the coin can be worth. For example, if a 1969 quarter was accidentally struck on the wrong kind of metal blank, called a planchet, it might look different from a normal quarter. Maybe it's the wrong color, or it's thinner or thicker than usual. That kind of mistake makes the coin rare, and collectors love those kinds of coins. There have been cases where wrong planchet error coins sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another kind of error is called an off-center strike. That means the coin was not properly centered when the design was stamped onto it. If part of the design is missing or shifted, the coin looks unusual, and collectors are willing to pay more for it. If the off-center strike is small, maybe 5 or 10%, the coin might be worth $50 or $100. But if it's very off-center and the date is still visible, it can be worth several $100s. Another error that can add value is a clipped planchet, which happens when part of the metal blank is accidentally cut off. That makes the coin look like it has a small bite taken out of it. These errors are not extremely rare, but they still make the coin more interesting, and collectors might pay $50 or more for one. Another special kind of coin from 1969 is the proof coin from San Francisco. Proof coins are made differently from normal coins. They are made with special polished dies and planchets to give them a shiny mirror-like surface and sharper details. They are sold directly to collectors, not used in everyday circulation. Because they were carefully handled, they usually remain in excellent condition. A 1969 S-proof quarter might be worth a few dollars if it's common, but if it's graded by a professional grading company and is in perfect condition, it might sell for $50 or even more. There are also some very rare cases where proof coins or special high-grade coins have sold for thousands of dollars, especially if they were among the best examples known to exist. The highest prices ever paid for 1969 quarters were for coins that were graded in perfect or near-perfect condition. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC assign grades to coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being flawless. A 1969 quarter graded MS-67, which means Mint State 67, is extremely hard to find. One of those coins sold for over $3,000, and another in similar condition sold for over $4,000. If a coin is graded even higher, or if it has a unique error, it might go for $13,000 or more, though that is very rare. Only a handful of coins in the world would ever sell for that much. When someone claims that their 1969 quarter is worth $13,000, it usually means it's a perfect condition coin that has been professionally graded and possibly has a rare error. Most 1969 quarters you find in circulation, though, will not be worth that much. They are common and easy to find. If you have a 1969 quarter that looks normal and has no errors, it's probably only worth 25 cents. If it's shiny and hasn't been used, it might be worth a few dollars. If you think you have something rare, it's always a good idea to get it checked by an expert. You can look for coin dealers in your area or even send it to a grading company. Professional graders will carefully examine your coin under magnification and determine if it has special qualities or errors that could make it valuable. Once they grade it, they'll seal it in a plastic holder that shows its grade. That makes it easier to sell, and collectors trust certified coins more. It's also important to be careful about what you see online. Sometimes people post coins for sale at very high prices, $5,000, $10,000, or even more, but that doesn't mean those coins actually sell for those amounts. A seller can list a coin at any price they want, but what matters is the real selling price, not the asking price. To find the real value, you should look at auction records from places like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or the websites of professional grading companies. Those sites show real prices that collectors have actually paid. That will give you a more honest idea of what a 1969 quarter is really worth. So, let's sum up the values in simple terms. A normal, used 1969 quarter with no mint mark is worth 25 cents. A nice, clean uncirculated one might be worth around $5 to $10. A proof coin from San Francisco might be worth $3 to $15, depending on condition. A coin with a small error might be worth $50 to $100. A coin with a big, dramatic error or in an extremely high grade could be worth hundreds or even thousands. And a truly exceptional, perfect condition coin, especially one that's been professionally graded, could sell for $10,000 or more. That's where the number $13,000 comes from. It's possible, but it's very rare. If you have a 1969 quarter and want to know if it could be worth something, look at a few key things. First, check its condition. Does it look brand new or old and worn? Second, look for anything strange. Maybe the design looks off, or the edge looks odd, or the metal seems different. Third, if it really looks perfect or unusual, think about getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Having your coin graded gives you proof of its quality and makes it much easier to sell if it's valuable. And finally, always research real sales, not just what people are asking online. So yes, it is true that a 1969 Washington quarter can be worth $13,000, but that only applies to a tiny number of coins that are in the best condition or have rare errors. Most of them are just regular quarters worth 25 cents. But that's what makes coin collecting fun. You never know what you might find. Sometimes the most ordinary looking coin can turn out to be special. So check your change, look through your old jars of coins, and you might be surprised by what you discover. Just remember to stay realistic, check your facts, and enjoy the hobby. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand more about the 1969 Washington quarter, give this video a like, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos about coins and what they're really worth. Have fun hunting for coins, and I'll see you next time.